Hello, and welcome to the Knitworthy podcast. This is Thursday, October 19th, 2017, and this is episode, I think it's 74, maybe 75, I'm not sure. I'm doing this without show notes today, so who knows what could happen. I could say things wrong, I could say things right, I could forget what episode this is, who knows. My name is Brianne, also known as being Brianne on Ravelry and Instagram, and I'm so happy that you're here today. A couple things. I'm trying a new camera setup. So tell me what you think. Do you like it? Do you not like it? It's just a little bit closer, and I have the, I'm trying the forward-facing camera on my phone rather than the back-facing camera. The back-facing camera is actually better than the forward-facing camera, but I was thinking maybe this way I could see, number one, time, since it has the timer going on the front, and also I could see what I'm showing you. Always good. So we'll see what happens. Tell me if you like it or if you don't like it. Let me know. I'm kind of favoring it at this point, but we'll see. Okay, so things that have happened. Number one, I went on Tuesday with a couple of my friends, Michelle, of course, and Laurette couldn't join us. She's been ill, but Michelle's friend Jody, who's her neighbor, joined us to go to the Arkansas yarn crawl. So much fun. We had such a good time. In fact, I got a little commemorative bag. And let's see, we got little pins from the stores that we went to, which was very fun. We went to Fleece and Flax with Red Scotty Fibers, and we went to, what was the other one's name? Hardcastle Folk Art, which are both in Eureka Springs, which is about an hour away from here. It was a fun time. We had such a fun time. Really enjoyed ourselves. We went to both yarn stores. We went to a place called Local Flavor for lunch, which was beautiful, and got to walk the streets. It's called, Michelle told me it was called like Little Switzerland, which she's lived in Switzerland, so she told me that's not true. Don't believe it. But the downtown part is very quaint and very like small streets, not a lot of parking, lots of uphill and downhill walking. And we walked like 2 miles. We had so much fun though. And it was all, downhill for 1 mile, uphill for the second mile. But it's so much fun looking at all the different stores that they have, and, like looking, just window shopping, and it was just so much fun. That happened the day after my birthday. Monday was my birthday, and Monday did not seem like much of a birthday. It was my first day at my new part-time job, and then I went and picked up the kids, and we grabbed Wendy's really quick and ate it in the car in front of the high school. And then my son Owen had a choir concert, and then we got home and got the kids to bed, and it just didn't feel very birthday-ish. And so I mentioned that to Michelle, and she was like, well, we have to make up for that. So they did, and it was a wonderful treat, and I really enjoyed it. So I hope we get to do it again maybe next year. And yeah, I did not actually buy anything on the yarn crawl. I was very virtuous. It was very strong. They had so many beautiful things. They had a couple of local dyers to us. Tempted is a local dyer, which I think she used to have her things at the Loopy U, if I remember correctly. But I don't think she does anymore, but they had yarn and fiber by her. And they also had Apothecary, who's another local dyer. I think that's it. And of course, commercially dyed yarns and, other things that are not quite as local, but we had such a good time. And I came home, I was there was nothing there that I left saying, if only I had brought that home. So I think I made a good decision not just bringing things home willy-nilly that I don't necessarily have fallen in love with. So that was my Tuesday and my Monday. And then yesterday, Owen was like, I don't feel so good. And so we looked in his throat and said, oh my gosh. And I took him to the doctor yesterday morning, and he has strep. So I'm hoping and praying that this is not like the start of strep in our family. It is no fun. And our kids tend to share strep really easily. So we're also getting a referral to an ENT, an ear, nose, and throat doctor, because this is his third case in 4 months. So we're going to see what they say. He had tubes and it put in his ears and his adenoids out when he was 3. Why didn't we just press and say take his tonsils at the same time? It would have saved us so much heartache and agony, because he gets strep really bad. It's just terrible. So anyways, he's in the other room watching Callie. Callie likes to chew on the microphone cords, and she also likes to come and jump on the table and, have fun. So she likes to be wherever we are and be involved in the things that we are involved in. She just wants to podcast too. Just allow the girl to podcast. Okay, so things that I have been working on. I think this is going to be a shorter episode this time, just because I have only been knitting on socks, and socks are not fast for me. Sometimes they are, sometimes they go pretty quickly, but most of the time, no. So I think this is going to be a little bit shorter. That's okay though. Not everything has to be an hour long. These are the Gracie Pearl socks, yarn from Unwind Yarn Company. And these are the sport weight socks. So these are just, you can tell that it's a little bit thicker of a sock. And so this is the first one that I finished. And then here's the second one. I just finished picking up along the gusset. And so I will start that at some point. And I will have a little bit of yarn left over from this, which I think I might put it into my granny stripe blanket, which I'm very excited about. To be honest, I love all the yarn that I'm knitting with. It is so beautiful. But working on socks exclusively has kind of worn me out because I've worked on socks pretty much exclusively now for a month already, and there's still 2 weeks left in the month. It's just a lot of socks, and I feel overwhelmed because I've cast on a bunch of socks, and I had 2 pairs of socks on the needles, so I have 7 pairs of socks on the needles right now. That's a lot. My goodness. And so I think I'm just working on a couple of pairs at a time right now, so I can see progress, so I can see that I'm actually accomplishing something, and that makes me feel better, so like I cast on the sock on Tuesday as we were waiting for Owen's choir concert to start, and now here I am at the gusset, so that makes me feel good. It's hard. I'm not a big have 15 whips sitting around kind of person, and so it's a little bit overwhelming to me. So I think I might do that differently next time. Maybe plan my preloading a little bit differently. Have more socks that are almost done. That way I can get them out of the way before Socktober hits, and then I can just, have some things finished and have some things started already that I can work on. So I think that's my plan for next year. I'm already planning next year. Already in plans, because I do enjoy Socktober, but this is the yarn, Gracie Pearl by Unwind Yarn Company, who is Dana, who I love. She's wonderful. And So yeah, so let's see. I have this sock that I'm working on. Put that over here. I did put a little bit of time into my Mariposa sock, my beautiful bag by Whimsy Stitches, and the yarn that matches. It was a kit. This is, again, by NY Yarn Company. This is her Journey sock, which is her fingering weight sock. And this is Mariposa colorway. Isn't that fun? Just the gray and the speckles of green and magenta and teal. I think it's beautiful. I can hear Owen laughing in the other room. I'm glad he's in a good mood. All right, and here's what it looks like in the skein, or in the ball, in the cake. All right, and then my last thing that I've been working on consistently is in this bag, which is by Wool Sunday. I don't think Wool Sunday is doing anything anymore, which makes me sad. She had really a lot of fun colorways and she made cute bags. This one is all like passports and ticket stubs and what else? Like invoices and passenger coupons, and looks like it's mostly like train things, which is fun. Okay, so this is from Cascade Yarns Heritage Prints. This is colorway number 38. And it looks like this. Last night I was working on this and I got I'm doing these toe up with the, what is it? It's a gusset heel flap toe up by Wendy D. Johnson. I will link to them in the show notes so you can know which pattern I used. She has so many patterns out there, but she has several that are very similar. But these are, I think, gusset heel flap socks. But I put in the first 3 increases into my gusset, and so I will be working on those some more, and hopefully I'll have a sock finished pretty soon. Brian doesn't like really tall socks, which is to my benefit. Shorter socks, quicker socks. And so, but he's so sweet. He's been wearing his hand-knitted socks this week to work. We are now in the mornings, we're down in the low to mid 40s temperature wise, and so it gets chilly, and he is in an air conditioned bank, and so he has his wool socks on. It makes me happy. And so I found his little stash of socks that he's worn, and I washed them yesterday and put them to dry, hung them up, and he came in and he was like, "Oh, that makes me so happy." He's so cute. I do have a pair of finished socks. These are the Prairie Socks by Kay Brianne Bears. That's her last name? No, it's not. What is her last name? Oh, that's really bothering me. Shame. Next time, show notes for sure. Again, these are the socks that I wasn't quite sure if I was going to care for how the speckled and the texture pattern were going to work together. I think it turned out great. As you can see, the texture pattern comes out quite nicely in the speckles, and I think it just looks beautiful. So here they are, both socks. I finished these on Sunday. And so yeah, so those are ready to be worn, and they look gorgeous. And I would definitely knit with this yarn again. This was the Plymouth yarn, Happy Feet 100, speckled in the Tuscan Spice colorway. And here's the funny thing. You remember I showed you 2 episodes ago what the difference between the 2 skeins of yarn. I bought a second skein of yarn in the same colorway, but this one, the second skein of yarn, was so much more speckled. You didn't see a lot of cream at all. And I bought it, the sock skein that I made into socks, I had purchased from a Village Yarnery in Springfield. And the second skein of yarn I purchased at Cecilia's Samplers here in Branson. And just showing the differences between dye lots, that, you know, if you have a hand-dyed yarn, that you may want to try and make sure that you get as much as you need in the same dye lot, because you never know how it's going to turn out. And so Mom, for my birthday, bought me a skein of this yarn in the exact same colorway from Cecilia's Samplers, and it's the same Tuscan Spice, looks exactly the same as the first one. So I think I'm going to combine them and make a larger shawl. I'm not sure what shawl. The Raina shawl kind of came to mind. Reyna. I don't know who it's by. But I was thinking of that, or I'm not sure. I'll have to look around and see what other patterns come to mind. But yeah, so that was so much fun. I opened it up. I said, "You have amazing taste in yarn." She's like, "Well, I know, but what do you mean?" I said, "Well, I bought the same skein like just a few weeks ago." And she was like, "Oh no." And I was like, "No, this is perfect. Now I can make a larger shawl for myself." And she was really glad to hear that it was something that I enjoyed, at least. So she knows she did really good. But yeah, so this is the Prairie sock. And I have another pair of socks on the needles using this exact same pattern. And I have that's in the Alpine colorway from Unwind Yarn Company, but I haven't been putting much distance on that just because I've been working on other things. So maybe I'll get those out this weekend, because I do really enjoy the pattern. So yeah, so there's that. So let's talk about our contest that we have going on, the Gratitude Craft Along. If you want to join us, we would love to have you. You can post on the website or on Ravelry in our group. There's a Gratitude CAL 2017 thread, and all we're doing is we are talking about things that we are thankful for, that we have gratitude in our hearts for, just to keep ourselves focused on what is good. The world is really messed up right now. I don't know if you know this. I'm sure you do. There's a lot going on that is very disturbing, and that can really affect how you feel mentally and emotionally. And I know it does to me. And I don't need help feeling discouraged about things. And so I want to focus on the things that are good, things that are true, things that are lovely. And so this is what this craft along is doing, is I want you to share in the thread things that you are crafting that you are thankful for, and tie it into what it is that you're thankful for. I'll use my friend Michelle as an example again. She made a pair of mittens in pink to go along with Breast Cancer Awareness Month, because she has beat breast cancer. And so, she's thankful for that. And, that was very inspiring to me. We've had people make toys for, new members of their family. We've had people who have, crafted things to, commemorate fun trips, things that they're grateful for, and so there's just a lot of things out there, that if you think about it, what are you thankful for? It's not hard to think of a way to tie in your crafting to gratitude. Even if you're just thankful, that you make a pair of fingerless mitts you're thankful that you have the dexterity in your hands to be able to do crafty things. Thankful for, your kid, you have to cast on a new pair of socks because your kid blew through, the last pair. That's something to be thankful for. You have a child that loves your hand knits and, wants to have another pair and, love that last pair to death. So, just think about things that you can be thankful for. I also would welcome, posts with, scripture or posts with, inspiring pictures, the things that make you feel inspired to be thankful. So, we've already given away 2 prizes. This runs through the end of the year. So December 31st is the last day to post on the thread for this. And this next prize, oh, it matches me. Look at that. Very nice. This is Malabrigo sock in the Ravelry red colorway. And this is going to be our next prize. And I think I'm going to post, I'm going to pull a winner for that in our next podcast. So in the next couple of weeks, just make sure that you're posting. You can also post on Instagram using the hashtag gratitude CAL2017. So make sure that you're doing that too, because I may pick from Instagram. You never know. And make sure you let your friends know to join in, because you can get prizes. This is not like a post one time and you're done, thing. This is a post. You can post every day things that you're thankful for. Post pictures, post, things that make you feel grateful. So, don't feel like you're limited to just one really grand post and that's it, you're done. So, here's this. This is so beautiful. It really does match. This is, I think this is my Groovy shawl, which I used, what did I use for this? Was it Bugga? Anyways, but it matches so nicely. You could be my twin. We could be twinsies. How much fun would that be? Okay, so that's it for today. Like I said, it's a shorter episode, just because I don't have a lot of whips to talk about. I have a lot of whips. I just don't have much that I've been working on. And trying to, like I said, I'm just trying to focus on a couple of things. So that's it. I hope you guys are doing so awesome. I love all the comments on the threads and on YouTube and on the website. If you want to find our show notes, it's at knitworthypodcast.com, and I will put those up. This will go up probably on Friday, and I'll have those up about the same time. And what else? I think that's it. So anyways, that's it. You have a fabulous day. I will see you later. And until next time, just remember that you are knitworthy. Bye, friends.